I'm Dr. Gav Schneider. Let's talk a little bit about emotional intelligence and how that relates to risk, leadership, and high performance. What's really interesting to note is that the success of individuals tends to be more aligned to their ability to manage themselves, work with others, and create social cohesion than purely having intellectual capability or knowledge on its own. So really, what we need to understand when we look at Daniel Goleman's emotional intelligence is the first few components are around self-awareness and self-regulation. And if I don't have those basics where I understand myself and can control myself, it's incredibly difficult to be a good follower or a good leader, and equally difficult to make great decisions. We then can look at the aspect of motivation, which we've previously discussed. But if I can't motivate myself or motivate others, it's really hard to overcome inertia or the feeling of being stuck and generate momentum, where our own energy perpetuates movement. So part of the challenge with how we start working through the idea of applying motivation is to ensure that we can relate that back to not just what makes me want to do stuff, but how can I motivate and get my team aligned as well, and hopefully even my organization, which is where the next phases of emotional intelligence tend to come into play when we're looking at empathy and social skills. In other words, how do I work with others? How do I relate to others? And how am I able to develop attributes and characteristics that get high performance, not just for me, but for our team, our tribe, and our organization as well. If you are looking at trying to build a successful career, have great relationships, be effective in your own right, and be part of high-performing structures, then you need to put some time and effort into the various steps of emotional intelligence. And remember, this is an ongoing journey and less of a destination. We are always working on ourselves and trying to understand others and improve the way we do this, as opposed to ticking the box and going, I'm very good at those skills. This is really important because as the world becomes more and more global, we're dealing with different cultures, diverse opinions, different views, and we want to be able to capitalize on that and make that an advantage, as opposed to being overwhelmed and not being able to work with people based on perception or my own failings. So emotional intelligence is an incredible enabler, and you should be using it wherever possible.